All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining the Focus Forum for July 23rd. We are excited to have everyone here today and join Ms. Courtney Weidner, who is the founder of Aligned and Alive, a coaching business dedicated to helping people discover their self-love and unlock what makes them come alive. She's also the creator of the Alive Revolution, a 6-week coaching program that is growing. It's a growing movement and of individuals who commit to authentic self-expression and living in full alignment. Courtney, after spending 27 plus years in the insurance world, and nearly 2 decades as a business owner, Courtney realized her purpose was far greater than her profession. In 2024, she began shifting her life towards what she wanted most, a business rooted in her deepest values, with a gift of building a community and holding a space for growth. She and deep and her growth, and she creates environments where people feel safe, seen, and supported. Today, Courtney is living her vision daily, guiding others into clarity, radical self-acceptance, and love. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only Miss Courtney Weidner.
Oh, thank you, Rick. Oh, man, that is amazing. Awesome introduction. Thank you so much. And to all of my guests, my family, my friends, everybody that has taken the time to be here today, thank you. And thank you, Emily and Rick and Scott and all of NIA that's tuning in today for giving us this platform for everybody connect. And your presence is a gift. So y'all have made time to be here today. The invitation is to be here. I have a very interactive hour. This is unlike any focus forum that you've had. So I invite you to please, cameras on if you're able, be present. So that way you can be here and connect with some other amazing humans and really get the most out of this experience today. We're going to kick this off. Dan, if you would please put that PDF in the chat. I have a workshop, a little worksheet for us to work through today. If you are on your phone, I recognize this might be a little more challenging for you. It is a fillable PDF, but please grab a piece of paper, open up a note on your phone, something that you can, jot down some thoughts as we go through these questions in the next hour. And with that, does everybody give me a nod or a wave or something if you've got the PDF? All right, we good to go? All right. And Dan, if you could please just keep dropping that in the chat as you bring in more people in the room, because I see more people coming in all the time. Okay. All right. On the first page of that PDF, first question right out of the gate, what are you hoping to get out of our time together today? Maybe you had an inkling what this was about. Maybe you knew the topic was just what makes you come alive. Maybe you read the description on the NIA website, or maybe you just had no clue and you just showed up because I invited you today.
More passion for
Whatever,
life.
whatever your reason for being here today, I would love for you to just take about a minute or so. I'm going to give y'all a moment to fill that out. What are you hoping to get from our time together today? Even if all you know is the topic is what makes you come alive. And this is important. We are going to come back and revisit this later. If y'all would, if you've got that, just so I know, because we've still got some new people coming in, please raise your Zoom hand if you have your intention of what you're hoping to get out of our time together today. For everybody that's just joined in the last like 15 seconds, if you can please grab the PDF that is in the chat right now. And we are working on the very first question on the very first page. What are you hoping to get out of our time together today? And when you're done, please raise your Zoom hand. So that way I'll know when we've got a good chunk of the room ready to go. We have a lot of folks off camera, and I just want to make sure, because we are going to be doing a breakout here in just a little bit, that you're really here. So hopefully everybody's game to come off camera so you can actually connect with some other humans when we do that here in just a minute. All right, everybody got your intention set? What are you hoping to get out of our time together today? All right. Yes, if you're driving, please don't take notes. Just think about it. Okay. I should say that. I do realize that a lot of y'all might be driving or multitasking. Hopefully you can be fully present for this experience because it is going to be quite interactive today. All right. We're going to kick this off, y'all. First reflection. What makes you feel fully alive? Let's talk about that. And I want y'all to think about this for a bit because this may be different for everyone. You might feel really alive when you're in nature, in total peace in your surroundings. You might feel really alive when you've just really helped someone, you fulfilled your purpose. And we're going to take some time. I'm going to give y'all about 3 minutes to ponder this and put some notes on your worksheet. Okay, this is on page 2, top of page 2. And as you answer this question, I want you to think about 3 things. Who are you with? What are y'all doing? And what else are you feeling? Is it joy? Is it excitement? Is it love? Right? So I'm going to set a timer for y'all because I really want y'all to give some time to this in case maybe you've never really thought about this before. And the reason we're doing this, yes, this is a business setting and there's a lot of business owners on this Zoom today, but we're whole people. And so this applies both professionally and personally. So you can get this in both contexts here. How do we feel really fully alive in our business? And then in our personal life, when do we feel fully alive? Who are we with? What are we doing? And what else are we feeling? Y'all got that? Y'all got it? Any questions on that? If anybody has any questions at all, please put it in the chat or come off of mute and be like, holler, I got a question. I'm going to check the chat right now. Driving. Okay. Yeah. If you're driving, please just ponder this thought. I'm going to set a timer for 3 minutes, y'all, because I really want to give you some time to think about this for a minute. Okay. Timer is set. If you've just joined the call, Dan, can you drop that PDF in the chat one more time for us? And y'all can lower your hands, by the way. I wish I could lower them all at the same time. We tried that. All right. If you missed the PDF, it's in the chat for you again. Top of page 2. What does fully alive mean to you? And we're going to do some connecting because I know you'll want to connect with some people today. Don't stop at one. There's more than one instance where you feel fully alive in your life. Absolutely. Please. More than one. All day long. And there is our timer, you guys. All right. So here's what we're going to do next. This is networking here. So we're going to get together and network. Dan, if you can please queue up some breakouts. We're going to go into rooms of 3 people. Y'all are going to get 2 minutes each. So you're going to have a 6-minute breakout. All right. And take turns. Each person takes 2 minutes. Please introduce yourself. Take the first minute. Say who you are, where you are in the world, what you do, just very quickly, a quick little 1-minute elevator, and then share what makes you come fully alive. Y'all get it?
You said 6 minutes?
Yes, 6 minutes. Groups of 3. Everybody takes 2 minutes each. Somebody jump in there and go first. What do you do really quickly? And second thing, when do you feel fully alive? All right. Everybody ready to go? All right. Please open up those rooms, Dan. I'll see you guys in 6 minutes. We'll let you know when to switch.
Make sure you accept those room invites.
Yes, please.
Let me go ahead and pause this.
1-to-1. So
I was just in a room with Andy, so
yeah, I was looking at all the combos of rooms and just seeing everybody that was together. I was like, okay, this is really cool.
Yeah. And your stepdad, so that was cool. I had a great
I
room.
know. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, please, for those of y'all that just popped back in the main room, please put your contact info in the chat. So that way people that were in your Zoom room can connect with you or anybody else on this call today. We have got people from all over the world, quite literally, on this call right now. So please don't hesitate. Promote yourself, put your stuff in the chat so that other people can connect with you. And I want to hear from two people really quickly. The first two Zoom hands that go up, I would love to hear two shares on something you heard in your breakout that either really inspired you or that resonated with you. That maybe you shared something with somebody in your breakout. Yes, Sarah, first hand up.
I heard somebody say play in my breakout room, and I hadn't written that down, but that is so important to feeling alive. Just
Yes,
that relaxed space where you don't have anything to do and you just get to play.
yes.
Whatever that looks like for you, like we can
Right?
all have our own brand of that. So
Just
I love
being
that.
carefree. Anybody else feel alive when they play? Does anybody else resonate with that? Excellent. Thank you, Sarah, for sharing that. Emily, second share.
I found it interesting that in our group, we all kind of had a very similar answer, or at least three of the four of us did, but about being in front of people. So we had somebody who was involved in theater, somebody who was a pianist, and me who's a public speaker. And we feel alive with that stress, that pressure, standing in front of the room and putting on a performance and getting that attention and feedback. So that was what we had going on in our room.
I vibe with that too. Absolutely. Yes. Presenting in some kind of way. Absolutely. Excellent. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Emily. All right, y'all. Well, there's this Howard Thurman quote that literally changed everything for me and is the foundation of my business. And maybe you've heard it, maybe you haven't, but he said, don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive and do that, because what the world needs is people who've come alive. And I want to give y'all a minute to reflect on this quote and jot down some notes on your worksheet. There's a space for it about what this quote means to you. How does this quote land on you? What do you think he meant?
Will you put the quote in the chat, please?
Yes, I can. Give me a moment. I realize some of y'all may not be able to see the screen with the whole quote on there. So don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive. And then do that. Because the world needs what the world needs is people who have come alive. Y'all make some notes. Dan, can you put the PDF in the chat just one more time, just in case anybody hasn't gotten it?
What I live for.
You're
See what I
welcome.
did there?
Thank you. All right. I'm going to give you all about 30 more seconds on that.
And we have someone in the waiting room.
Jot down your thoughts. What does this quote mean to you? What resonates with this for you? Quote means to you. One person, first Zoom hand that can come up for me gets the floor. What does this quote mean to you? Amanda. Oh, Amanda and Chris. Man, it was so close. Keep it short and I'll get you both. Amanda, real quick, what does this mean to you?
I think it means like you being alive is your best self, your most positive energy, and you're putting that back out into the world. And that is what is helping people. That is what is impacting your friends and family, even your clients, your animals that are around you. And that's how you can make things better.
I love that. Thank you
The
for
end.
sharing that. Chris Berzini, please come on. I saw your hand at the same time.
So what I wrote down is it encourages me to galvanize myself into action, being the one to step forward first without waiting for someone else.
Yes, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Thanks for both those shares. Dana, I got to keep going, but y'all, please, if I can't get you in on a share, please don't hesitate. Please put your share in the chat because I would love to be able to read that at the end of the session. I would love to hear how this quote lands on all of you. So if you're please willing to share that, please put your thoughts in the chat. So that way other people can feel that resonance with you. And for me, y'all, the first time I heard this quote, I knew I wasn't alive, not in this context. Okay. I knew that I had anxiety. I knew that I had chaos. I had a lot of adrenaline going on in my life, but I knew that's not really what he meant by that. So I'm going to tell you a quick story. It was December of 2023, and this girl from Texas flew to Maine in the winter, not used to snow, not used to cold. You get off the plane and it's like winter, like right there in your face. You got to like walk down a little ladder and all the stairs and all the things. And I was not used to that at all. And I was there on a best friend rescue mission. I had a friend that really needed my help to transport a couple vans from Maine to Mississippi. And we were camping that night. These are camper vans, and we were camping in the airport parking lot. And I'm like, oh my God, it's freezing out here. Well, fortunately, the vans had heaters that worked really well. So that was great. But unfortunately, this wasn't like a warm, fuzzy friend trip because she really wasn't in a great place. She was having some really crippling anxiety and having a meltdown. And as I was watching my friend, I started to think about all the things that she used to do when she was really thriving and alive. She was journaling, she was singing, she was walking on the beach, doing her photography, going to church. And she wasn't doing any of those things anymore. And she stopped doing the things that made her feel alive. And instead, she was throwing herself into her business, just really grinding away in her business and making that her whole life focus. And then life happened and she lost a really close family member, someone that was like really close to her. And she really struggled lifing after that. And I realized this is me. Like, this is me in this moment. I'm seeing me right now. I am just hanging on. I'm grinding away in my business. I'm not really doing any self-care. I got no joy. And I am like one life tragedy away from like totally losing it. And it was in that moment that I got the idea for my book. And I created the daily self-care checklist for busy as fucking burned out humans. And it started to change my life. And it sounds really simple, y'all, this whole self-care bit, but if it were easy, everybody would be doing it and acing it. But the truth is, if we're not putting ourselves first in our life, how can we really show up fully and be alive for anybody else? I know y'all have heard that before. So I want us to now think about, what does not alive feel like? I want y'all to think of a time when you were not feeling fully alive. This might be easier for some of us. And I want you to think about those three things again. Who are you with? What are you doing? And what else are you feeling when you know you're not alive? You're not in that fully alive place. Okay, I'm going to set a timer for just 1 minute on this because I don't want to dwell on this for too long. So jot down as many thoughts as you can think of in the next minute. I'm going to start. When service turns into sacrifice. Certain family members. Yep, I know that feeling. Yeah, overwhelmed, burnout, no end in sight. Scrambling from one commitment to the next. I can totally relate with that. Self-sabotaging behaviors. I think some of us can relate to that. Yeah. Being by myself, just existing. Yeah. Lonely, depressed, heavy, sick, not feeling not enough. Yeah. All of that, y'all, all of that gets in the way of us feeling totally alive.
Ooh.
Man. Okay, I'm resonating with everything I'll say. Like that, yeah, 100%. So I want us to look at what gets in the way. There's three big blocks to aliveness that I've observed, and they look like burnout. That's been said a few times. Belonging, when we don't have it, when we're alone, we feel alone. And our beliefs, some of these limiting beliefs, these programs, these unconscious things that we might be believing that we have to be or we should be, that just really don't jive with us, right? So here's the thing. Awareness, and I'm talking full self-awareness, y'all. Everything about us that has us feeling alive and not alive, it all helps us get to a place of self-acceptance. And if we want to feel alive more of the time, the first step towards change is getting into our full awareness. And the A in the Alive Revolution, which is my group coaching program, stands for awareness. Because becoming aware of our current state and how we're feeling and doing this whole self-exploration to discover our own personal self-care checklist to make sure that we don't get in that burnout is really the starting point. And awareness is what leads us to self-acceptance. So let's talk about burnout. There was a very recent study, like just this month, on entrepreneur mental health statistics. And they reported that 50% of business owners struggle with anxiety. Almost 46% of us struggle with high stress, and 34% of us experience burnout. And that ain't nothing. So I want y'all to think about a time in your life at some point that you felt burnt out. There's a space for this on your worksheet. So I want y'all to take just a moment and use 3 to 5 words. Describe what burnout feels like to you. That might be things like chaos, avoidance, procrastination, pain, being in physical pain sometimes. So just take a minute. I want y'all to jot down 3 to 5 words. What does burnout feel like to you? And if anyone feels comfortable to share, please raise your hand. I would love to take one brave share of someone who's willing to talk to us about what did burnout look and feel like for you? And what did you do about it? Dana. Is it Dana or Dana? Oh, you're muted.
You're on mute there.
Rosanna, Dana.
Dana. Thank you, Dana. Thank you. Please. Yes.
So burnout, happens quite often sometimes, but basically it's loss. I can't think anymore. I can't process anything anymore. And when it gets to that point, I tell myself, basically, there's nothing that's gonna happen in the next 24 hours that I cannot do the next day. So I will shut down. I will shut down and say, okay, that's it for the day, and just relax and, yeah, start over
Self-care,
again.
right?
Start
Gotta
over
just-
again. Yep.
Yes. Here for that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you for
don't
sharing that.
have to push through when you are stressed out and yeah.
That is absolutely right. Here, here. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. MP, I saw your hand go up. You sneak in. You go fast enough.
Unmute.
Yeah, so I said never enough time.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Not enough MF in time.
yeah. I wanted to keep it PG for those folks that don't like that. But I would say, since my recent situation, I lost my mom, my sister, and I'm taking care of my dad who's bedridden. I'm like the person who manages my family, and I'm actually the youngest. And so it's I just feel like there's never enough time in the day between the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. So that's the way I feel currently. And the only way I manage that is by, taking my ass to the gym in the morning. So
Good for you, sir. You got that self-care down. I'm proud of you. That's awesome. Yep. Thank you for sharing that. And y'all, can we just talk for a second on how hard we are on ourselves when we're in that space? I mean, I don't know about y'all, but when I'm in that burnout meltdown mode, the voice in my head turns cruel. I get stuck in overwhelmed paralysis. I can't do anything anymore. And yeah, that whole like beat up bus comes out, yeah, I ride that too. So here's the next thing I want to talk to y'all about is belonging and having a village. Because I discovered something else was really playing a part in this unaliveness that I was experiencing. So if you're not driving, I invite y'all to close your eyes or just lower them for just a moment. And take a breath as I ask you this question. Who here has ever felt like, and I mean ever, felt like you were different and you didn't fit in? Like you're an outsider? Maybe the first day of school. Maybe a time that all your ideas were dismissed at a meeting. Or maybe at a party or a gathering where you didn't know anybody. If you've ever experienced this, please raise your physical human hand and keep it up for a second. And I want everybody just to open your eyes and take a look at the screen. Like, I want y'all to notice like how many of us experience and feel this way sometimes. We all share that. It's something we all have. And we all are looking for this belonging. You can put your hands down. Thank you. So on your worksheet, I want you to make some notes to describe that situation, remembering where were you? Who were you with? What were you feeling when you were in that place where I didn't feel like I belonged? I felt like I was a total outcast. Don't fit in here. I want y'all to take a minute and just jot down that time. And if anybody feels safe to share right now, I'd love to hear from just a couple folks what it feels like. What comes up for you when you're in that space where you feel like you don't belong or you're just a total outsider? Okay, Sarah.
I felt so much about my life is not about like big things ever happening to me, although they have, but just like consistently getting the message that I don't belong. And so I've always been a really deep person, and being a deep, honest person in this world, it reflect. And not only do I get like, you know, actively and overtly rejected, but just like microaggressions of people looking at me with disgust as like I share something that I like have to share because I've never, you know, it's just like coming out of me because I don't know where else to put it, to be honest, because I'm trying to figure all of that out. Like little things where it's like, oh, that wasn't good, or you know, and then I get the message that what I'm saying, you know, and I have to like tailor what I say to who would I say, and it's just like this codependent.
Yeah.
Well,
Did you freeze?
yeah, I think she froze up.
Okay, it's not me. Whew, I scared for a second. I can relate to all of what she's saying. Absolutely. Like, oh, you froze, babe, but there you are. Thank you, Sarah, for sharing that. Yeah. And there's a whole lot that can come up for us. Like when we're in these fields, honestly, how nice are we to ourselves? Right? If we're feeling like I've said the wrong things or I don't belong here or I don't fit in here, what do our inner voices say? I'm not feeling like a rock star in those moments, really, you know? So, have y'all ever heard of the work done by Dr. Emoto with the snowflakes and water? So, if you're not familiar, Dr. Emoto had this hypothesis that human consciousness has impact on water. And he studied how molecules can change based on the human intention and the words that are spoken to water. And so he did these experiments with these snowflakes. And so words like I hate you and really negative things directed at the water produce these like really fragmented and chaotic looking snowflakes. But words like I love you and positive things directed at that water actually made like these beautiful picture perfect crystalline looking snowflakes. And he did a similar experiment with rice and showing how our words have powerful impact, even if they don't leave our brain. And our bodies are made up of what, 60 to 70% water. Our brains are like 80%. So just think about how that might impact how our negative self-talk when we're in burnout or we're feeling like we don't belong. What does that do to our physical bodies? Like to our vibration, to that aliveness feeling. And then ultimately, how does that impact our family, our kids, if we're not intentional with the words that we use? Something to think about. So what's the deal? What's the value in all of this awareness and all this self-discovery? Why is it so important to be very aware of our state? Well, how we talk to ourselves matters. How we vibe and shine matters. Our aliveness, our joy, our love, it has a huge impact on us, first and foremost. And the value in our own self-discovery, this ultimately impacts our business, how we show up, how we're alive in our business, our family, our whole life. And with this self-discovery, this awareness, it leads to acceptance, radical self-acceptance, which leads to feeling alive more of the time. And for the world, y'all, your aliveness matters. You matter. Beliefs. So what if there's something else that's holding you back from feeling alive? Something else, some other reason that you don't feel alive, and something that's unconscious to you. A belief or an old program that you didn't even know you had. So through my journey of my own self-discovery, when it came to how I work and how I should work and show up in business, I found out that I've got a lot of qualities and attributes, some gifts, some things that are true for me. And I've got a fun exercise that I like to do with folks to help them see maybe a little more of themselves and how they work. And I'm really excited to share this with y'all today. So we're about to do a poll, ladies and gents. All right, Dan, can you cue up this poll? This is a poll that I'm going to be doing for us because I'm curious and I want to know and get a vibe for who all is here in the room with us today and see how many of these questions resonate with you. Okay, that's a little hyperbole. If it resonates with you a little bit, you're like, oh, that's me. Answer, yep, that's me. Or if it's a definite no, check, nope, that's not me. Okay, so for our replay watchers, you're going to get to see all the questions here. So you can still follow along and the replay and say, yep, that's me, or no, that's not me, and see what we get. And then we're going to see the poll results at the end. Okay, and see who all is here in the room today. Right, number one, you're self-employed because you're basically unemployable. And not because you're not capable, but because you ask too many questions, you find better ways to do things, and you don't respond well to being micromanaged. Number two, you didn't fit into anyone else's system, so you created your own. Your business is part passion project, part survival strategy, and part, I'll just do it myself, thanks. And somehow it works. Number three, you're socially spicy, awkward sometimes, direct, always, honest, painfully. But hey, people always know where they stand with you. Yep, that's me. No, that's not me. Number four, you had 3 new business ideas before breakfast. All brilliant, all urgent, all started by noon. Number 5, your idea machine never shuts off. Oh, look, there's another one. Should you trademark it now? Build a funnel first? Get it launched by Friday? Me or not me? Are y'all seeing the poll that popped up to answer these questions? Okay, awesome. All right, just check. Number 6, you see patterns and connections that no one else does. Your brain is this kaleidoscope of genius. Everyone else is coloring inside the lines, and you are building a whole new coloring book. Number 7, you are a genius planner, but a wildly inconsistent executor. You can map out a 12-week funnel strategy in an afternoon. Just don't ask if you actually sent the email. Number 8, you can get anything 60% done in record time. The other 40%, well, we'll circle back someday, probably, unless a new idea hits. Number 9, you struggle with time, but not for lack of clocks or reminders. You constantly think you have plenty of time until you don't, or you're convinced that you have no time at all, but it turns out you had the whole afternoon. Time blindness, it's a thing. Number 10, you thrive in chaos, but you really crave structure. You want to plan, but also need flexibility, but also struggle to follow your own plan. It's fine, it's fine. It's not fine. Number 11, you toggle between this is revolutionary and I should delete my business, sometimes within the same hour. Number 12, you have more unfinished projects than open browser tabs. And you have 42 tabs open right now because that's the answer to life and the universe and everything, right? 13, you've built a business while forgetting to eat, switching CRMs weekly, and questioning your life daily. But you've done it overwhelmed, burned out, and winging it. So when you finally start doing it as your real self, unstoppable. 14, you are wildly creative and problem solve like MacGyver with a deadline. Pivot, you rebuilt a whole business model and launched a new offer and made a movement by Tuesday. And the last one, 15, you can hyper focus like a boss. And when you're in the zone, you can do more in 3 hours than most people can do in 3 days. And you forget to pee while you're at it. All right. Did everybody get in there and get those answered?
We are almost there. I'm going to go ahead and pause this. How much more longer do you want to?
Let's give him, we're about at 75% participated right now. All right, 80%. Let's give it another.
Another 2 seconds.
Yeah, we're at 82%.
All right, ending poll.
All right. Let's see. Let's broadcast those results. What do we have here? All right. Okay, there's a lot of yep, that's me's. There's some folks in the house that resonated with some of that. I am feeling y'all. Y'all are my people. Yes. All right. Yeah, that hyper focus one. I get that one too. Love it, love it, love it. How was that for y'all? So, anybody surprised by the number of these that you resonated with? Did anybody get more than half? I'd love to hear from somebody real quick that wants to come off and quickly share. What came up for you as you were hearing all of these questions?
I'll go. I thought question 8 was very interesting, and to see 3/4 of us all. I'm with my own people at this point, right? Of just getting a bunch of stuff started, but not finishing it as much. So I'm glad that I'm not the only one.
Thank you for saying that, Andy. That's exactly what I hope to create here with this, because we are not alone in how we do our business. Yes, Emily, real quick.
Oh, I thought you wrote that about me. I didn't know where this came from. I've never seen it, but it was so dead on. I was like, is this whole thing about me? She's pointing at me. What's going on?
Oh, yeah. Did we feel a little attacked? Yeah. So, so here's the thing, y'all. Y'all remember Jeff Foxworthy and those might be a redneck jokes? Okay, well, if you answered yes to more than half of those questions, I want you to know you might be neurodivergent, and I want you to know that's a gift. Studies show that 45% of C-level executives and 55% of business owners identify as neurodivergent. And now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to diagnose anybody with that little poll. But if you struggle with executive function, if you struggle with time blindness or idea overload, there might be something there worth exploring. Okay. And this matters because I was 44 when I discovered that I was autistic, ADHD, and have OCD. And when I learned those things about myself, things started to make a whole lot of sense. And suddenly I understood why I had burnout. I had all these beliefs, these invisible constraints around how I was supposed to work. And I thought Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 was how it had to be. And so taking care of myself during that time felt selfish or lazy. Other beliefs I had is like, you have to work 40 hours to be successful, hustle and grind culture. Sometimes we have to compromise our values to hit success and wealth, or that you got to work super hard to be wealthy. And so awareness of these limiting beliefs that we have around how we're supposed to work, awareness brings permission to break free from those programs, y'all, and ask ourselves, what supports me best? I've learned I need to work in time sprints, variety, rest. I need to do some house chores and things between working blocks. And neurodivergent folks, we have different needs, and we get that figured out. We can set ourselves up to thrive. So I want y'all to take just 1 minute here, and on your worksheet, there's a space for you to write down limiting belief that you have around how you're supposed to work, but that doesn't vibe with you. Maybe it's something you've always told yourself, I'm supposed to be this way, or I should do this, and you don't do it, and then you beat yourself up for it. That's one. So I want y'all to take a moment and just think of something, a way that you have always believed you're supposed to work. Make a note of that on your worksheet. And I'm going to tell y'all why this matters so much. If you're somebody that only gets things 60% of the way done, hire someone who finishes for you. Someone that has that tenacity to get things over the finish line. If you're full of nonstop ideas, get yourself a teammate or an accountability partner that's going to keep you focused. Body doubles are amazing to help get things done. And oh, the dopamine when we get things finished, y'all. It's wonderful to cross things off a list. Am I right? Like, it's great. We feel super accomplished when we get things done. So what accommodations do you need to thrive in your workspace? Standing desks are incredible. I had no idea. So, and I want you to think about your staff and your teams as well. If you have anybody neurodivergent in your workspace and they struggle in some areas, they just might need a little couple working tweaks, right, here and there. And how much more supported would they feel? So awareness around all of this is really how we stop feeling like we're failing and start flowing in our business. We have superpowers. We can hyper focus like nobody's business. And we can be alive in ways that shift the whole energy in a room. And it all starts with accepting ourselves, being aware of ourselves, accepting ourselves. And this is where the Alive Revolution begins, y'all. This is the business impact that we can make in the world by showing up fully as ourselves, meeting our needs, all of it makes a huge business impact. The invitation for y'all today, if any of this resonated with you, if you're curious to learn more, dig in to yourself, get deeper in this whole awareness business, I want to invite you to my free 90-minute workshop that's coming up August the 6th. This is free. You can register with the link in the chat. I will put that in here in just a second. And because y'all have taken the time to be with me today and you are on this call, I'm giving a discount here and a super duper code. I'm hosting a 6-week Alive Revolution group coaching experience where we're building community, belonging, connections, and working on how we can be more alive in our lives more of the time. It's normally $597. You get $300 off with code NIA. Just put my website in the chat right there. So please peep that. You can check that out. By all means, contact me if you have any questions at all. And before we wrap up today, I would love to hear from a couple final shares from y'all. That based on what you've experienced here today, these reflections that you've had, what is something that you're going to do differently to honor and celebrate yourself? And I want everybody to do this. This is your action step that I promised you that you would walk away with from our time here together today, is on your worksheet. What is one thing that you're going to do differently to honor and celebrate yourself? Maybe it's a bit of self-care. Maybe it's doing some more self-discovery and doing some self-development work. What does that look like for you? I'd love to hear from a couple of people before we go. anybody's willing to raise their hand and share what's something that you're going to do differently to honor and celebrate yourself. I love what you're doing, Andy. Yes, Brittany.
I would like to honor myself by being more authentic.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else? Amanda James.
I'm going to work on giving myself more grace because it doesn't always have to be the way I thought it should be going into it.
I love that. I love that. Barb.
I loved your thought about breaking things up and, not trying to feel overwhelmed by one project at a time. And I have felt like I needed a massage for a very long time, and I am going to make that happen.
Yes, Queen. I support that. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. All right. But I'm seeing some stuff going in the chat. Dad, yeah, morning walks. Loving that. Loving that. Summer. Not going to chastise myself when I'm not available. Yes. Find a new hobby to meet people. Don't forget to play. Yes. Neurodivergent solutions for working with my ADHD. I would love to chat with you about that, John. Absolutely. Bi-monthly massages. Michael Parker, advocate for that. Buddy, last share before we go. What are you going to do to honor and celebrate yourself?
I'm going to register for your course with that great discount so I can get a whole bunch more of this.
I love you. Well said. He's not paid for that message. I promise. All right, guys, before we go, remember that note that y'all wrote at the very beginning? I know that was so 60 minutes ago. Go back up to the top. What you hope to get from our time together today. And take a look at that. And did you get what you came for? And if you didn't, please reach out to me, because I would love to have a conversation with you to see how I can support you in fulfilling that. Okay. All right, y'all. If you would like to connect with me, here is all of my information. My request is that you please, so my neuro sparkly self can stay super organized and keep my stuff together. I would love for you to connect with me through my website. I have a contact me button. You can scan my dot card right there. Please connect with me on socials. I would love to connect with you and follow all your pages and all the things. So yeah, please reach out to me. And I cannot express my gratitude enough for y'all being here and being a part of this and going on this little reflection ride with me and seeing what gets in the way of us being alive more in our life and what we can do about it. So I invite y'all, please join me for my free 90 minutes, because we'll dive into this a whole lot more on August the 6th. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Courtney. Great job. Thank you so much for running this today. This was certainly wonderful. And
thank you all for coming.
I do want to invite everyone to also join us on the first, third, and fourth Wednesday of every month for our Network with the Nations, our speaker series, and our sales mastery. So our next presentation is going to be our Network with the Nations, okay? And that's going to be on August 6th, followed by August 20th. We're going to have Miss Sandra Harper, The Anatomy of Sales Conversation. So do check in for that. And we're going to be bringing you more of these. Make sure you subscribe, check out the podcast, all that if you want to catch a replay. This has been wonderful. Courtney, thank you once again. Amazing.
Thanks, everybody. Y'all my people. I love y'all. Thanks for being
Bye-bye.
here. Let's do some one-to-ones. I want to connect with everybody. Thank y'all so much for being here. All right.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you.